Bonjour! So, for today's video, we are hopping back in the Cursed Woods and the village of Tiercelieu. So it's back in Cradle World for now. I'm going to do a quick recap of what I'm doing there, but for more information, I'll pin on the screen a link to the playlist for this world hopping series, where I've done 3 previous videos on this world I'm making. So we are in Cradle World. It's inspired, this world, by a very popular parlor game in France, Les Loups-Garous de Tiercelieu. So, Les Loups-Garous means werewolf. So it's fantasy 18th century France inspired world. So yeah, that's the main inspiration for that world, and we are populating it. I'm making it with my nephews and nieces, and we are populating it with different characters from the parlor game, but also from fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood, called Le Petit Chaperon Rouge in French, and Bluebeard, Barbe Bleue, what else? Oh, Jack and the Beanstalk, Jacques et le haricot magique, you know, so on and so on. So quite a few themes inspired by fairy tales, stuff like that. And so it's a long-term project. I'm not rushing anything. So I've been building a few lots lately, and that's what we're going to see in this episode. So the world itself, here we go. There is a river, and that side of the river is the village and the fields and stuff like that. And on the other side, it's the Cursed Woods, and we have the more regular wood area here, and the more phantasmagorical magic one over there. They're going to be the marshes. So got a few ideas, but not the part where I'm focusing today. The focus is going to be more on the village and what's going on there. This is going to be the castle for Bluebeard, his wife and previous wives, and the ghosts of his previous wives. And this is going to be the fishing village over there. And here, the village with the more rural area just outside the wall. And that's going to be the mill over there, water mill. Or a mix between the two. I don't remember. I haven't built it yet. And here is the house of the inventor, and he is inspired by Belle's father in Beauty and the Beast, the animated movie. So that's the map very quickly. You might have noticed the different signs, wooden signs here and there, and they're just placed as place markers. I've adjusted a bit the whole area, and it's just for me to place back the lots at the right spot. There is a grid, but it's too much straight lines if I'm using it, and it wouldn't look like a medieval village. The roads are not, they're not straight lines, so that's why I'm not using the grid. But when I'm placing back a lot so that it has the same placement as previously, I need to place markers. So that's why I've got those. And I'm going to place back a few lots before I launch the game. I'm just checking if there is... No, I'm good. For most of them, I'm good. I thought I had... Here, there is one. Oh, and we're good here. So there is one here. And, okay. So I've placed a few decorative items in Cradle World. So as you can see over there, for instance. I don't know about that fence. I'm going to see if I keep it. And a few wells that are part of a mod that I'm going to link in the description box below the video, so that they don't have indoor plumbing or running water in the houses. So the idea was to have different wells and from the mod outside of the lots, so that they can be shared by different households. And I'm not sure yet because I haven't playtested that, so I'll see. I'm going to place back the different lots, remove the signs for the next version, and then I'm going to upload that world in the game. And I'm going to insert some footage of the buildings I've been building lately, and I'll see you on the other side in the game with the buildings already placed in the village. Here is the village at the moment, so as you can see it's far from being done, and also there are a few buildings there that are actually just not really placeholders. They are more like, oh, this one is a placeholder because it's the same one as the one I haven't placed actually. So I forgot to place one here. Oh, it's going to bother me. I'm going to place the building. I'll be right back. Where was I? I'm not sure. Let's zoom in on the village. I think I was talking about some of the buildings are just not really placeholders, but first draft of a building. So I'm thinking of the church-like one. So it's going to be sort of a church. And this is the inn, the place where travelers can rest. So I've started with an idea, and then the lot was a bit too small for what I wanted to do. So when I went back to Create a World, I made it slightly bigger. So now I'll see if I continue with that idea or if I change my mind completely. This one also is a work in progress. I was having a lot of fun with having it as a very tall building and with the roof. I'm thinking of having like 2 buildings there, but I'll see. I'll see what I do. What we're thinking of doing right now is showing you the different lots where I had some footage of previously to see them more in details, let's say. Let's start with the village main gate. So there are a few others, but this one I don't know if it's going to work, so we'll see. I'm thinking the Sims might go the long way around and not cross this one, but go like to this one, for instance, because it's the pathway, but I haven't really playtested it yet. I've just checked inside that the routing inside was okay, correct, and I haven't decorated any of those lots in the interior. I haven't done really the interior, just mostly the layout. So it's supposed to be where the soldiers, so I have 3 soldiers. Where are there only 2 of you? Where is the 3rd one? Is it Ed who is missing? Oh, here he is. So I'll talk about them a bit later. That's the where the military career is going to be. So right now it's an academy, and I'm just that's the storage room right now. And this is going to be the kitchens, and where they eat, and then this is going to be the armory, like where they can learn to fight, I think. And then strategy room, or maybe this one, not sure yet. And top floor is the observatory place, you know. So then, second one is going to be the barracks over there. Oh, I wanted to remove the well, because I think they should be working. Oh yeah, I need to talk about the Sims. So, barracks, let's open that. Again, it's mostly empty. I haven't put the staircase to go there, even. So the idea was to have like stables at the bottom here, so for their houses. Have the weapon racks over there, so the sort of armory again. Maybe some stuff for the horses there. Then the real inhabited part is going to be there. So kitchen, main room. So I'll have a fireplace, of course, everywhere. The 3 bedrooms for the 3 soldiers. And this is going to be the toilet. Trying to go with something that could work in a medieval-ish building. And then I'll have an access to that floor, and then an access to the roof. Next one should be the small townhouse over there, but I don't think I've done anything inside, and so no need to open it. So then the town hall, my idea was to have, that's something I really wanted to have there, is to have like, you know, those very intricate clocks where there are even characters moving around like that. I think when it's o'clock, you know, they are doing something. Like, it's a bit like a puppet show. It's always the same. And I love when there are big clocks like that. So that's the idea for this one. And on both sides of the hall, I wanted to have that here too. On this side there is also a balcony, because this is the marketplace over there. You know, they have like the best view from there too when they are overlooking the marketplace. And this part over there is going to be a small shop. I've got a few ideas of what I would like to have, but we'll see, because it's in diagonal. It's always a bit more difficult to handle, let's say. I've tried a sort of layout. So as you can see, a stall here. This is going to be a bookstore. The assignment is library, because I like that there is the what's this called, like studios. I need to check that, studios or something like that. Moodlet. There's a large passageway here, and library bookstore with upper floor over there. On the second floor here for city hall, for the town hall, the idea was to have like a strategy room, and that's actually a pool table. And right now I've placed a level skip marker on the top floors, so not using them. And then to finish with the buildings, I've shown for the big town house, which is actually the mayor's house for now, and also Goldilocks house. So Boucle d'Or in French, and her mom is actually a future ghost. It's always weird to have that, but since I haven't started playing yet, I need to have like the families together. I feel very cruel. So we can open this one, because I think I've done the layout at least. So I did see, was it a drawing or a picture of a big townhouse like that? So I really wanted to have a very large tower there. That's why I went with that. It's a bit bulky, but trying to make it work. Hopefully it does. And yeah, so the courtyard is not that big, but it's just enough for a stable there. The downstairs is going to be for the staff mostly. So there is a big hallway. I wanted to use also that from the store, you know, for the bigger, it's the Now and Then Manor set, I think it's part of it. And it's a bit tricky to place, but it's actually a bit inside the staircase, so that it doesn't take as much space as it usually does. But yeah, that's going to be the kitchen, and there is a back door, side door over there, and there's going to be also a basement here. It's going to be bigger, but just wanted to see the access. So I'm going to need a room for the cook and for the stable master, the person in charge of the horse. So there's going to be at least 2 people as staff members. For those 2 are going to be the surviving members of the family. Upstairs, so these are going to be the living quarters. I've just placed a few fireplaces. I tried to find a bit posh ones to go with what I have in mind. This is going to be more like for the staff, because direct access to the kitchen downstairs, and then upstairs the bedroom. One of these maybe for a nurse for Boucle d'Or, Goldilocks, I'll see. I'm not sure. So then the different Sims living there. So most of them I've created with my nephews and nieces. And for instance, the 3 soldiers, they are inspired by the 3 hyenas from the Lion King, the animated movie. And so yeah, that's the inspiration for their personalities. And they were made by Soso, Mimi, and Mr. T back last year, at the end of last year. And a bit earlier this year, Soso and Mimi made Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, the animated movie. And they also made a few other households, like, for instance, Krampus, like the boogeyman in some folklore, and his brother, Saint Nicholas. And they also met like quite a few other families because they were here, as I've said earlier, this year. So a bit of an extract of what they were doing at that time, and then I'll show you the result at the end.
Allez, boulot.
Bonne nuit, Tata. Eh ben non, tu peux plus passer.
Pardon, tu t'approches pas trop. Hein.
Sadique.
Ça va?
En fait, quand ils passent l'anniversaire, ils peuvent changer les vêtements aussi que tu avais présélectionnés, qu'il a pas sur lui, quoi. Et puis ouais, les cheveux peuvent changer aussi. Donc, c'est pour ça que je préfère que vous fassiez les anniversaires avant de les modifier.
Allez, c'est parti.
Alors, qu'est-ce que vous voulez faire en premier?
Par Louis.
Par Jacques.
On dirait Michael dans Roswell. C'est horrible.
Ouais, pourquoi pas. Mais il faudra changer les chaussures quand même.
Oh mon dieu, c'est moche et c'est stylé à la fois. Je sais pas trop quoi dire.
On reviendra dessus après.
C'est quoi ça? On a trouvé une tenue pour Barbe Bleue.
C'est quoi, c'est des cookies?
Alors, des cookies.
Trop bien. Non, mais ça, c'est pour un loup-garou. Là.
Mais on l'a déjà mis pour quelqu'un, lui. Non, mais là, c'est trop boutonné, tu vois. Lui, il travaille dans la boue et tout. Il a besoin de, tu vois, un truc un peu ouvert, tu vois, parce qu'il a chaud en travaillant dans les champs.
C'est bien, ça, non?
Mais moi, je voulais un truc un peu... Ouais, en vrai, ça peut le faire. Je te dis.
Le t-shirt, faut
Ça,
le
il est pas beau, hein.
recolorer.
Ouais, il est... non.
Ou alors, ça peut être les trucs un petit peu...
Moi, je vois bien un short un peu remonté, tu vois. La coupe, j'aime bien. En fait, faudrait trouver un truc un peu moins...
Ouais, ça
En vrai, ça, c'est pas un peu la coupe.
Ah, une
Oui.
coupe Titi. La coupe de Titi.
Non, Mr. T.
Mr. T.
Ah ouais, il prend la grosse tête, lui. Il veut se faire un peu en mode Mr. Beast. Ah, j'ai trouvé les chaussures de la clochette. Pour travailler à la ferme, t'as besoin de quoi comme chaussures?
Mais des grosses bottes.
Pieds nus.
Clique sur le pantalon. Et là, tu claircis un petit peu la... Avatar. Tan.
Jack Frost.
Pas les dents aussi.
Non, fais pas les dents parce qu'à cette époque, ils avaient tous les dents pourries, donc...
Comme ça, c'est
Attends,
bien.
tu dis l'autre ado du village, c'est...
Le frère de Petit Chaperon Rouge,
Ah,
c'est un
oui.
ado. On l'a pas encore vraiment fait, mais...
Et Ansel.
Ansel, pour le moment, vous l'avez fait ado. Je sais pas encore ce que vous voulez faire avec Ansel. On peut
Mais on
peut-être
sait,
le
c'est un
faire.
peu la famille qu'on a pas ça.
On n'a pas compris, hein. On va lui faire du maquillage, mais c'est pas on va pas le considérer comme du maquillage, on va le considérer
Oui,
comme,
de la peau.
de la peau. Donc, un des trucs que j'ai, si j'ai un blush, par exemple, il fait ressortir, vous voyez?
Ah oui. Bah ça, on peut valider, hein, je dis, hein. C'est bon, on a fini, hein.
Sashto!
Soso, il a dit, ah, il est trop fan de toi.
Et ouais.
Ah, t'as vu, il garde la même position, mais il est beau, maintenant. Eh oui. Pardon, le perchon. Français.
Il fait peur avec...
On dirait pas Voldemort.
Attends, regarde. Non, c'est le
Non.
bout du nez. Clique sur le bout du nez. Mais non, justement, là, tu...
Là, faut que ce soit.
Mais justement, là, tu lui as fait un truc dingue.
Mais là, c'est tout. Regarde, on a fait Voldemort. Il y a un petit truc, hein. Mais on a essayé le nez, mais on peut pas creuser
Oh
le
non,
narine,
non, non.
comme il a, Voldemort.
On peut tourner le bout du nez.
C'est vrai.
Ah là, il y a un petit truc un peu plus encore.
C'est Voldemort. Oh mince.
On peut pas assiner, genre, après la...
Oui, descends.
Il y avait une fausse note dans l'eau, là. C'est terrible. Molto terrible. J'ai sorti l'italien en plein milieu de ma phrase.
Oh là là. Ah non, c'est
Il
trop...
y a un petit truc.
C'est trop Voldemort.
Alors là, Tata, si tu me dis que c'est pas Voldemort... On l'a assez massacré comme ça, on va lui rendre un visage.
Tata, t'as pas des visages de base?
Si, là.
Ah.
Moi, je veux qu'il ait des
Mais-
grandes mâchoires, en mode un peu un costaud, en mode un truc comme ça, tu vois.
Ouais. Ça me stresse, il faut lui mettre des cheveux.
Ça,
Il a
on
un
va
front,
mettre-
non mais il fait 3 mètres son front. Hein.
Je me coupe un peu comme ça. Non, pas ce moment-là. Non. Moi, j'aimerais bien lui faire une espèce de petite calvitie, tu vois. Parce qu'en soi, vu qu'il avait
Mais
pas
non,
vu
c'est le barman qui aura une calvitie, on a dit.
Ah ouais, ça fait trop comme du barman.
Et ouais, on spoil. Le barman sera loup-garou.
Ah là, un truc comme ça. En mode, il prend jamais le temps de se raser. du
Non,
coup, il y a
un
truc
peu plus, un
poussé.
peu plus.
My friend, this t-shirt is perfect. Molto perfect. Oh, les sabots, les sabots, les sabots.
Bobo, les sabots.
Oh, regarde. Des sabots. On a trouvé des sabots.
Ouais. Pour Krampus. Nickel. Et puis, vous avez regardé s'il y a la queue qui était passée? Alors, est-ce qu'on peut la... Pour le Krampus.
Ça fait que de chat. Oh, parfait, mais du coup, faudra recolorer. Oh, j'aime bien. Oh, c'est parfait pour le Krampus.
C'est qu'il a les yeux violets, votre père, là?
Bah,
So we actually made Krampus just afterwards, and his brother, Saint Nicholas, they are outside of the town because they are Jainies. I haven't done that area yet. There's going to be another inn over there, and Mimi had an idea for this one too, so I haven't built it yet. We're working on a few Sims family, and one of them is Hansel and Gretel's family, and it's just, we don't know what to do with them yet. There have been several ideas there. So the families that they were doing, we just saw, I don't know why he has a hat. That's the Puss family. It is a fairy, and his name is a pun because he's inspired by Tom Thumb. Thumb is said Puss in French, though it's not spelled the same way, it's pronounced the same way as Puss. That's a verb to say to grow for plants. But that's the family, and they are the one farmer family for now. Lastly, to end that episode, we're going to have a look over there. So these two lots, both used to be community lots. They are now both residential lots. My nieces and nephews, one of the ideas when they are making Sims is to have at least one kind of a avatar. So not a sim self, but a sim they see themselves play when they are going to play in that town. And Mimi and Soso are in those two lots. So Mimi, so that's the sim she has as her character there. And she lives with her mentor. So she's a teen and he is the pharmacist in a way. And the house that we made together, it's not done yet, but it's inspired by a book that I really like. One of my sisters gifted me. It's a book about extraordinary houses from different times and places. One of the houses there was the one on the screen there, and so we took inspiration from it to make this one, to build this one. So going to do a quick tour. We are not done with the garden here, but just placing ideas. So Mimi really liked the fact that there was only like a big room, so I haven't recolored the rug yet here. There is the bed here, but it's his bed. The floor plan is directly inspired by the one from the house in the book, and then the upstairs is her domain. So that's this house. So this character is actually sister, like in real life. Mimi, my niece, is also as a younger sister, and in the game she has, well, they're orphan in the game, but they are still sisters, and with Soso Mondragor here, but they don't live together because she's an apprentice. So then, next door at the tavern, which is now a residential lot, that's where there is the Sims made by Soso, who in the game would be the little girl, la petite fille. During the werewolf's turn, she can spy on them. So she's a maid here. So it's a bit complicated, but the tavern belongs to le tavernier and his wife, and they have a semi-permanent boarder, which is Gaston, who is a hunter. So he doesn't know, she does, that le tavernier is actually a werewolf, and that the werewolves are going to meet, I don't know how many times a week or something like that, in that room here. And the idea is to, lock the doors so that only the werewolves are allowed here. So there is also a back door over there. There are a few passageways here and there in the house for Susu to walk around unseen by the werewolf and to be able to spy on them too. And then that's also where there is the main room here where I've put public marker so that there can be people there. It's like as if it's a lobby for an apartment building, so the Sims are able to come around there, and when I'm controlling the family, I can have them tend the bar. When I'm not, they can be assigned there thanks to register. Is it register? I've got a mod to assign. I've already done that in other worlds, so I know it works. And there is also they can gamble there. And this over there is Gaston's chair here. So that's the idea behind that lot and why it's now a residential lot. I think it's going to be easier to play that way with the werewolf meetings. And so it's not done at all. This is going to be the kitchen. So the werewolf's meeting hall, and then upstairs there is a gallery over there, and there are a few bedrooms, and this one right now is Gaston's, but I might change it and have it a bit more like maybe this one. And Susu, the whole attic is for her. She's a bit of the Cosette in that town. So that's the idea here for that lot and for the sisters' story. So that's going to be it for this one. That's a long one. And yeah, I still have quite a few things to check. I might remove a few mods, not that they are not working, it's because I have a lot of mods and maybe some of them I'm not going to play with. I'm thinking of the no running water one, for instance. It's a very cool one, but if I'm playing like a fantasy game, I might not, take the time to go to the well every time. So things like that I might remove. I don't want to overload the game too much, so I might remove a few ones, but I've already another very vintage world in mind where I could use that, and it's not a fantasy one, so that could work also there. I might start it this summer, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do that. Where can I find questions? Don't hesitate to let me know. I'll add links to the description box below the video if needed. Yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you in a next video. À bientôt.